Myself Amandeep Kaur. Today I am explaining the chapter number 9 from our book. So this chapter provides a comprehensive look into how anthropology study and the understands the conflicts, violence and the war from a culture and the societal prescription. It emphasizes that these phenomena are not biological, inevitable, or inherent to human nature, but rather arise from a specific social, political, and the environmental factors. This this chapter integrates key concepts such as gender inculturation, system of meaning, ritual, and the symbol languages and communication, authenticity and the identity, and the role of power structure in shaping the conflicts. So, firstly, I will like to explain about the gender inculturation and the conflicts. So, this chapter starts by explaining how gender incul- inculturation, the process of learning and uh, internalizing gender norms, varies across cultures. It shows how gender norms are not intent by are taught through interaction within social institutions such as families, social network, and broader societal framework. In relation of conflict, gender roles often reflect societal power structure with conflicts between the genders highlights the inequality in the economics, political and the social status. Anthropology shows that as the societal culture changes, societal culture and the changes, these genders related conflicts involve the reflecting shifts in power dynamic, and moreover, and the next topic is the questioning history and the conflicts. So this chapter brings in Edward said the influence ideas particularly from his work Orientalism, which encourage us to question the narratives like uh, we have we have been taught about our own histories, our identities, how like we would like to talk about our the histories. So it challenged at the accuracy of the history and the culture. Education provided by the institutions like schools and university suggestions that history as it is often taught can obscure the complexity of the conflict, identity, and violence. And the next one is the anthropological perspective. Anthropologists view conflict as arising from structures, incapabilities in the relationships rather than from inherited traits or uh, instincts. Conflict is framed as a product of culture, political, and the environmental interactions. So, this chapter details serve key anthropological approaches to the understanding conflicts. The first one is the system of meaning. The conflict is deeply tied to the culture meaning. Violence and the war are not automatically responses, but results from how people interrupt their social environments. These interruptions are influenced by the culture beliefs, ritual, and symbols. Next one is the rituals and symbols. Symbols plays a significant role in expressing or masking the conflicts. Political rituals like speeches, demonstration on a public executions are loaded with the meaning and are often used to convey the powerful meanings. So these rituals can also hide the deeper conflicts that exist within a society. Like they shows their rituals and symbols in a public place, like they can show in a speeches, like due to some events they show it. So the next one is the language and the communication. It refers to how people communicate within a society can either escalate or the resolve conflict. For instance, the contrast between a high context communication system like in Egypt and a direct low context style like in Israel can lead to difficulties in negotiation as seen in intercultural conflict setting. So, moreover, ethnicity and the identity. So, ethnicity and the identity refers to the anthropologist shows that the ethnic and the racial classifications are often socially constructed and can be exploited for a political gain. This chapter references the Ravadan genocide as a tragic example of how ethnic division manipulated for the political reasons can lead to a large scale violence. So the next one is gender conflict. Gender mostly conflict is explored as a reflection of the societal inequality, while anthropologists examine how cultural patterns reinforce power disparities between genders. They also stress that these patterns are subjected to change as the society evolve. And next one is the warfare. It is a social construct. So this chapter defines warfare as a group of activities aimed at inflicting harm on non-specified members of another communication, differentiating it from individual acts of violence like homicide or the feuds. It emphasizes that the warfare is not focused on personal revenue but on the target and entire group. The idea that warfare is a natural biological inevitable aspect of human existence is rejected. This chapter highlights the culture that do not engage in war, such as the Marudi, Argentina, and the Hanunu, showing that the warfare is a product of the specific culture and the historical context rather than a universal human conditions. So, the last topic of the today is the ethnicity and the conflict. The Rwandan genocide. One of the most powerful example of how ethnicity can be manipulated for the conflict is the Rwandan genocide of 1994. During this period, Hutu nationalists incites a mass killing of the Tutsi minority, resulting in the death of around 8 lakh people. The genocide is used to example how ethnic identities can be exploited for political purpose, turning neighbors. This chapter also criticized the failure of the international community to prevent the genocide. Nothing that while the World War engaged, the conflict was largely ignored. After that, the aftermath of the genocide led to the establishment of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, which tried key figures responsible for the atrocities. This serves as a case study on how international law can address the crimes related to the ethnic conflict, and the genocide. All in all, this chapter, all in all, this chapter helps us to tease that the conflicts, violence, and the war that are the complex social phenomena that are deeply influenced by the culture, political, and the economic factor. Anthropology offers a broad lens through which to understand this dynamic highlights the importance of system of meaning, ritual, language, authenticity, and the gender in shaping conflicts. Through this example, like the Rwanda Ganida, the chapter examples how deeply rooted social issues can be manipulated to the incite violence, and it underscores the necessity of understanding these conflict in context to find ways to manage or prevent them. Thank you.